Well, today we're going to talk about my passion, which is brand building. And what if I told you that building a brand is possible, and you can follow this proven 5-step process to be able to build a brand that customers absolutely love? That's our goal for all of you today. And I'm lucky enough to be interviewing some incredible panelists today that you can really learn from, these incredible entrepreneurs and seller experts that have done it. So my name is Jeff Nickerson, and I lead the brand experience and excellence team for our worldwide sellers. And I am so excited for you to learn from these incredible panelists. And with that, I would love to have them each introduce themselves. So Daniel, please.
I'm Daniel Miller, recovering corporate lawyer turned beekeeper, and the co-founder and chief growth officer of Beekeepers Naturals. We've been selling on Amazon since 2016 now, so we go back a good amount. And at Beekeepers Naturals, we're all about reinventing the medicine cabinet using clean, clinically backed, hive-powered formulas that you can trust for yourself and your family.
Great. Linda?
Hello, my name is Linda Olivier. I'm brand director for a brand called Boca. We are a fluoride-free toothpaste. Check it out, it's really good. I've been on the industry for 10 years. I've been as a consultant, owner, in brand leader. And currently, I've been launching around 1,000 products, around 40 different brands in the last 10 years. And I'm really excited to be here. Thank you very much.
Wow, that's a lot of products. Vanessa?
Yeah, my name is Vanessa Hung. I'm community ambassador at Carbon 6. Also been in the industry for now 8 years, doing every single hat from account manager to seller to consultant to educator in the space. And I've seen it all in the brand building journey for a lot of brands, people that are starting from one little idea to multi-billion-dollar companies that are launching and selling on Amazon.
You're really going to learn a lot today. Well, today we're going to learn from these incredible panelists about the 5 stages of brand building, how it is that you can navigate some of these stages simultaneously, how you can optimize your tools, how you use Seller Central to really get the most out of building your brand on Amazon, and then how you measure success and track whether you're making progress as you go along the way. So with that, Linda, I would love to start with you for my first question. For your brand success, talk about the importance of launching great products and how you established a strong brand identity.
Okay, so both of those things are super important for our brand. So I think I find more and more in brands and in different sellers that people have amazing products. They have these unique products, they have great ideas. That's why we are all here, because probably we have an amazing product. But where we lack a little bit of expertise is in the brand building, in brand identity, making sure that you understand your consumer. So us in Boca, we have an amazing product. It's a nanohydroxyapatite toothpaste. It's a mouthful to say, but it's definitely something that is it's an ingredient that is very important for us. But yeah, with that being said, creating the brand for us is the engine that really drives the toothpaste for sure.
I think that's great. And for so many brands, it just always starts with having that great product and then really creating that sharp brand identity that your customers can really resonate with. Well, Daniel, I want to come to you. For Beekeepers Naturals, how did you navigate the next 2 stages of brand building, for growing your brand awareness and then earning customer loyalty?
Yeah, I think for us, growing brand awareness has been critical from day one and continues to be. I think we invest a lot in demand generation, both on and off the platform. So we want to get people off Amazon onto Amazon to buy. Amazon rewards momentum. We're leveraging things like influencers, affiliates off the platform, and then creator connections for affiliates on the platform. I think for us, a really big milestone and target for us that we invested in heavily to get was that #1 bestseller badge in the cold and flu category. And that really led to a lot of discoverability and then creates that flywheel with brand credibility. We'll get to loyalty in a sec, and discoverability. And for us, that was something that we really focused on. And then loyalty, I mean, at the most basic level, nothing groundbreaking here, but your product needs to do what you say it's going to do. And for us, that it needs to work. And so that's the most basic thing, but I think we back that up with a really strong customer service team that's very responsive to ask questions and answer questions in real time about the ingredients, how to use, safety. Can my 3-year-old take this? Can my 10-year-old take this? Can my 65-year-old mother take this? And we've backed that up with a 100% customer satisfaction guarantee. So we will give a refund, no questions asked, whatever the reason is. And that's de-risked the purchasing decision for a lot of customers, but also shows how much we believe in our brand and our products. And that has helped build that loyalty. And all of this goes towards reviews, which is the gold star on Amazon, and obviously powers everything and are very trustworthy. And people look at those on Amazon, off Amazon. So for us, that's like something that is critical and helps reinforce that loyalty and that brand awareness.
I think that's really powerful. And you know, I've heard this time and again, how powerful social media and influencers can be for bringing traffic to your brand. And then, you know, the importance of having just a great product and delivering that customer value. So they're going to tell their friends and family, they're going to come back and buy from you. It's just really critical to have that customer obsession. You know, it's the first leadership principle in Amazon, and it's something we try to live every day. Well, Vanessa, would love to bring you into the conversation. You know, from your vantage point, what do you see as the common mistakes that brands make when they're trying to go through their brand building journey? Yeah,
so one of the things that I see all the time, especially right now, we're in 2025, when I joined the space and the ecosystem, you could look at one category and see, okay, there is a gap, I'm gonna launch a product. Right now, in this era, everything is about brand building. So it needs to be connected to a story. A lot of people think that following trends and like copying what the competition is doing, it's enough, especially when they think about, I'm gonna launch and I'm gonna copy what the #1 bestseller in my category is doing. That's wrong. It's not about the looks, it's about the story, how you connect with the consumer, how do you understand them, and then as you grow and as you launch your brand, there are certain things that some brands ignore the organic growth, right? They over-rely on advertising. And yeah, that advertising is extremely important, that drives awareness. But if you're not doing anything outside of that, then you're neglecting the opportunity to connect customers, create that community, those advocates that will recommend the product to another mom with the same problem when they buy beekeepers. So that is like a huge thing that I see all the time. And also, sometimes I see sellers, they think about problems they don't really have. And that is a huge thing in the brand building process. You really need to know where you're standing so you can see if your ground is covered, and if it's not, fixing it from there. And then the last thing, once you're a big brand, thinking about the experience. And as you guys know, there's like a few massive CPG brands that they decide not to be on Amazon because the experience is different. This is what you should be focusing about, making sure that if the customer is buying from you on Target or on Amazon.com or Walmart or your own website, the experience is the same. Those are kind of the big mistakes that I see. Obviously, along the line, there are little things that sometimes we mess up, but it's part of the process.
I think it's so powerful. And if I were to summarize that, I think what I heard is just the importance of authenticity. You know, make your brand yours and live your values, and then use that as a way to really connect with customers and then reach them wherever they're going to be. It's just really important as you think about how to build a brand that's going to connect with your customers and last and build that recall as they come back for their next purchase as they think about you. Well, maybe coming to another question for you, because I think you're right on the pitfalls. But what are the best practices that you see brands should adopt, and how should they prioritize their efforts, especially when they're trying to straddle different stages of the brand building journey simultaneously?
Yeah, I think the stages, as we think of brand building, recognition, awareness, loyalty, those are not really like check boxes that once you do one, it's done and you don't need to go back to it anymore. It is a feedback loop. It is a very cohesive, and you should think about it like that, as sequential, not sequential things that you do, but they feed from each other. So right now, and I think we all seen it at the main stage, AI is the big topic. And I believe that a lot of the things that we should be doing right now as brands is leveraging that and I've seen a lot of tools that are coming out this year about information from audiences. What are you going to do about your audience and with your audience information to leverage that? Use it as a feedback loop. So for example, you already launched a product on Amazon, but now you're catching up signals on the reviews of your product or your competitor to make changes on the listing. Before AI, guys, we were hiring a whole marketing team, a bunch of data analysts, like a ton of research, months and weeks of information to make one change in our title. Right now, it's like maybe minutes. I mean, if you're not that savvy, hours. So that is one thing. Like in the brand building process, right now, AI allows you to completely do a whole feedback loop on every time something happens, you can feed it into another part of the journey. So I think that's the way that we should be using AI and think about how you can, implement it in the brand building.
I think that's so important, and it's something. Obviously, you heard on the main stage how important this is, and it's going to change the way all of us work in the next few years. And we're just investing so much in how to give space to learn and use the tools, and it's going to transform, how you connect with customers, how you build your brand, and keep using it, because it also the pace of innovation is so fast. It's just changing really quickly, and so things that are hard with AI and it's not getting quite right today, it's getting better so fast. So just keep using it. Encourage your teams to. It's really going to transform the way that you sell and the way that you grow your business over the next few years. So I think that advice is just fantastic.
And if it takes you more than a few hours to figure it out, we clearly aren't savvy, then it might take us a few days. So we have a long way to go. But don't beat yourself up if it takes a little bit longer. These things are you're operating at a high level over there.
Yeah. Absolutely. Try it. Use Seller Assistant. Get into it, and give us feedback, and that'll make it better too. Well, Linda, I want to come back to you on this one. So during Boca's brand growth, did you have to make any strategic trade-offs between kind of balancing your growth in different stages?
Definitely. So I think a big trade-off that we see often in brands when we're growing really fast is between the brand identity and the brand awareness. So when you start, you want to enter a niche, let's say natural niche or anything in your category where you can win. So, okay, you win on that, you spend years on this, and you finally made it. We are right now, for example, on Boca #1 toothpaste in the category. So we made that, but now we have to start thinking, okay, so our brand identity is being approach as how our customer is buying our brand because of the ingredients as a smaller brand. But now we're actually playing against the big guys. So our brand identity has to match our awareness. So now we have to be willing to open our mind and look at higher if we want to go to retail, if we want to go off Amazon, and understand exactly, okay, if we actually want to be very strict with our brand identity, we're being very restricted on how and who we're targeting, right? But also being very loose on our brand identity, we're diluting the brand. So it has to be a compromise between brand identity and awareness. And as you move with the brand and the growth, you have to continue growing with your brand identity that follows you. And it's the same thing with your content. If you have something maybe before your audience was the natural audience, so you were very specific on ingredients, very specific on these kind of claims. But now if you're trying to grow, you have to be more flexible with your brand identity and make sure that you are communicating with the new audience that you want to have.
I think that's so powerful, and a lot of these stages just have trade-offs that you have to balance, but really trying to kind of create that connection and how you frame your brands and then reach the right customers and being true to yourself. I think it's just a really powerful recipe for success. Well, Daniel, I want to come to you because I know you talked about like you've launched so many products over the years, and I was wondering like how has your approach changed from the first product you launched to what you're doing these days in terms of both how you choose what to launch and then how do you really like drive those early sales when you first get something out the door?
Changes every single year for us. We spend a lot of time thinking about this. Early days, were very excited. We saw a lot of great momentum. There was so much we can do. I mean, all of our products are based on B products. You can do so many different categories. We launched a lot of products, and I think too many, and it diluted the brand, and we lost our focus in terms of our messaging and our benefit messaging and our brand messaging. And I'll caveat this with there are a lot of very successful brands and Amazon brands that are launching products every week, every month, every couple of days. I think for us as an omni-channel brand, it has been really important for us to focus and be a lot more intentional in our approach. So there is more data than ever these days on Amazon. We have Amazon Marketing Cloud, we have brand analytics, and we're using that to guide us with all these decisions. So what's working right now, what products are kind of trending, why, what's happening in our category, what are our customers telling us, and we ask ourselves now with every single product launch, like, how does this fit within our brand lineup and strategy? Can we leverage the existing brand identity, brand messaging, benefit, ingredient work that we've done? Or is this going to be an entirely new category, which is a much heavier marketing lift? And is this going to be an incremental product? Is it going to be complementary to our existing line, or can there be some cannibalization? So it's led to a lot more intentional approach that has really helped us maintain that core brand identity as we've scaled.
I think that's all great advice. And one other tool that I think is really powerful when you think about the data to figure out what product you want to launch is Opportunity Explorer. Has a ton of just really valuable data to help analyze what category and specific niche you want to go into to launch a product. And there's some exciting changes for that that you're going to learn about at the general session tomorrow too. So I want to put that plug out there as well. Coming next, Linda, coming back to you, what are some of the Amazon brand building tools that you use, and how do you get the most out of them for your brand Boca?
So many tools. I think I use them all, as probably all of you, but I think I want to mention a couple. SQP data has been, for me, it's fascinating. I can spend hours on it to understand exactly who's buying, so which keyword people are buying my brand for, and then if you click on the keyword, you can actually see which competitors in the order of the market share that they have, and that way you can actually strategize and make sure that you want to beat them, you want to win the game, so you can understand how much of the market share they have and how far are you, and where do you want to be, and what do you have to do to get there. So SQP data for me is super important, but I want to talk about some of the basics. I feel like it's too obvious that we never talk about maybe the brand store, for example. I think the brand store, it has to be definitely as good as your website is or as your in-store experience is. You have to make it as good. It has to be storytelling. It has to have everything your brand identity has. And for sure, something that we do, and I see that not a lot of sellers do, is, for example, in big events, we have like just a tab that has promotions. We have all of our promotions inside on our brand store, and then we have a headline campaign sending to our brand store. So instead of having your consumers looking at keywords and looking at different keywords and they see your products in different keywords, they have one dedicated page where they can see all of your promotions. So that leads to cross-selling, upselling, and it's something so simple that I feel like sometimes we take it for granted and we don't maximize how powerful the brand store can be. For me as well, the A+ content is really good, and it does tie with what I said before. As your brand grows, you have to grow with it. Your content has to change, and you have to adapt. So for example, right now, as I was saying, right now we're trying to be the 4th biggest toothpaste in the USA. So for that, our content has to change drastically. We have to make sure that we convince the masses. We're not talking now about this niche consumer that wants something natural, doesn't want fluoride. We're trying to convince our audience has broadened. So definitely with that, our A+ content has to change. We have to change the keyword. We have to make sure that we keep that as updated as we can. And I'm talking we have a very accelerated growth. So we're going really, really fast. And I think we're changing and updating our A+ content like every 6 months.
I think that's great advice. I mean, just the importance of establishing that brand identity, building that trust and credibility with customers wherever they might be looking at you, whether it's on your detail page with A+ or looking at your brand store and seeing the collection of products that you've invented over time. It really is important to kind of add that authenticity. Well, Daniel, what about you? What tools do you find most helpful for brand building?
I'll try and keep it tight here. There's a lot. Love the brand store. I think we like to treat it as a living, breathing asset. So we update that main page when we have seasonal campaigns, new product launches. Allows you to be that really hub for the brand, and it's a lot more customizable than it's ever been. So a really great place to build that brand identity and help guide. I really think about that customer journey if they land on your brand page. For us, we have a pretty broad product line in different categories. So how are we getting people from one category to the next, or they've only tried a product for themselves? How do we get them to try a product for their kids and vice versa? So we really think about the customer journey when we're building out our brand store and all of those tabs and the flow there. Manage your experiments. I wish it would tell us the answers in a few hours. It's sometimes, it takes a while and then you're pretty much 51-49, but it's all about optimization there, and focus and start with that primary image and your title. Like, you can spend 90% of your time there and that will do most of the work. It needs to be optimized. That tile and title goes everywhere on Amazon, on the category pages, in your ads, and you want to make sure you're optimizing for click-through rates and conversion. And then last but not least, this one's very simple. I mentioned it before, but I'm always surprised at how many people aren't using it. Creator connections. It's within the Amazon affiliate network. Play around with your commission rates, your titles. I know some people like emojis for those, and just test and see what works, right? It's just, you're only paying people if they make a sale, and so it's this built-in platform for people that are now affiliates ready to sell on Amazon, and they get some nice rewards from Amazon, I know, as well. So highly recommend that as well.
I think that's great advice, and certainly with experimentation, I mean, that's how we approach a lot of our launches. Here at Amazon, like, you just don't know until you try things. And so whether it's starting with launching new products or optimizing your listings, like, experiment, learn quickly, double down on what works, and pivot if it doesn't. I think it's just so important in terms of how you approach building a great business. And then if you think about consumers today, and especially the younger you are, like, they're spending so much time on social media, and so using things like Creator Connections is just a tremendously valuable way to get that kind of external proof about your brand and what makes your products unique and your brand, and it's just so powerful. And then that traffic can just really start to turn your flywheel on Amazon. So it's great advice, and one that we hear from brands all the time. Well, Vanessa,
I guess one sec, I have to say. PBDD is coming up. Everybody in here with a brand has to create one Creator Connections campaign. I guarantee you will make at least a couple sales at a minimum. Yeah. It's a great time. It's a great time to start when you have those deals live.
I love it. Everyone's got a challenge in the next couple weeks. It's great.
And also check out Beekeepers during that time. I can't help it.
Well, Vanessa, I want to come back to you. Like, building a brand, it can take a long time. It's taken some of the marquee brands, decades to build these incredible brands. But, what do you look at? Like, what are the key performance indicators that you track as you build a brand, and how do you know if you're making progress?
Yeah, well, I think that obviously changes in the state where you are at. So when you're starting, as Daniel was mentioning, title and image will go across everything, even outside of Amazon. So you need to make sure that you're optimizing for conversion there. If that's not there, you really need to test out. Obviously, I guess prior to that, you need to make sure that you're actually solving the problem that you are saying that you're solving, which is the product market fit. That's extremely important. Then in the brand identity and awareness is that conversion and review quality. Because even if you're driving traffic, you're driving the awareness, you get all of these influencers to talk about your product, but you're not getting reviews, you're not getting people to come back to your product and buy again, or even to your brand, then there is something lacking in that funnel. And for that, one of the things that I like in the brand analytics experience is that now it tells you what in your ASIN or where in your ASIN is the gap in the funnel. So if it's in the awareness or the consideration or the purchase part. So looking at those metrics, you don't really need to reinvent the wheel. You can look at Amazon and say like, okay, I have a huge gap between people that click on my listing and the people that buy. So what is that's happening in the middle that I'm not doing right? And sometimes it's literally either that you're, let's say, partnering with the wrong influencer, maybe they're not into natural or more organic things, or it's that your images are not reflecting who your customer really is. And I think in the world of AI, personalization is going to be a huge key element to what we are showing our customers that we are. And because Amazon, well, with AI too, it's going to be an omni-channel experience. Your experience on Amazon will show up, guys, in ChatGPT, Gemini, Claude. So this is not only about appealing to the consumer on Amazon, but seeing where those metrics are falling and making sure we optimize it so we're everywhere and we're good.
I think that's so important, and there's so much data available on Amazon, and really trying to understand where you are, kind of what pieces of your brand are really working and resonating with customers, where you need to focus, whether it's on conversion, whether it's on traffic, and really how to bring the right customers and convert, and then make them your super fans, make them loyal. It's just so powerful to really build an authentic brand. Well, I think the insights that we've heard are so powerful, but maybe to wrap up with the last question, I want each of you to share, what is the single most important piece of advice that you would give to this audience, and how should they navigate their brand growth with Amazon? Yeah, please, Vanessa.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Well, I guess that you're gonna hear me again saying AI, like. Really, right now, it's a buzzword. It's like, oh yeah, this little cool thing that it was launched, and every single day there is a new tool, a new mechanism, like a new nice thing. But really, adapting that into your flow, like the way that you were doing like data analysis or like creating images or creating videos or brainstorming ideas for new products or even writing your listings, that have changed because now we have AI. So make sure that every time you're doing a task that is in your to-do list, when you go back home, and if you see a task on your list, say, how can I do this with AI? And sometimes you can even ask AI, what can AI do? So ask ChatGPT, hey, I want to accelerate. I learn about all of these different things. Give me a to-do list of the next 6 months, 12 months on how can I do better with my brand, or I need to focus on X, Y, and Z. And guys, AI is amazing. Like, it will actually tell you the answers. So don't be shy, and I understand that it's overwhelming, but the more you use it, the more comfortable you're gonna be, and you're gonna be better than your competitors that are still using Excel spreadsheets to analyze data.
And ask Seller Assistant too. Linda, what about you? Single best piece of advice?
I would say you have to be customer obsessed. You have to make sure that every touch point that your consumer touches your brand, an email, a script for an influencer, this video, PPC, DSP, you have so much content out there. You have to make sure that all of it is on brand, that everything is perfectly. And I know it gets very, very overwhelmed. It's a lot of work, but I'm telling you, if you keep that consistent, that's gonna really, really help your brand grow, and it's gonna start that flywheel, that's the flywheel that we all want. And just being consistent with your content, that's very important.
Daniel?
I said it before, but I'll say it again. Data. There's all these shiny new tools. We have Amazon Marketing Cloud, we have brand analytics and insights, but don't forget about the basics. CAC, LTV, repeat rate, subscription rate. Make sure you focus on those as you're building your brand. Look where that profitability is and double down on your winners, and don't let your, whatever your thoughts are on this is my best product, like make sure you're seeing what are your customers telling you is your best product and what does the data say, and is this profitable and do I have those repeat rates? And I think just keep on pushing there.
Well, I have to say, I learned a ton, and I think you were an incredible panel. So for all of you, you can do it. You can build an incredible brand with Amazon. Thank you so much. Please, round of applause.
Thank you.